Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome again with your program Rejoice. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to worship Him the best way, to remember Him the best way, and to repent to Him always, and to thank Him for every blessing that He has granted us. Brothers and sisters, insha'Allah ta'ala, in our episode today, insha'Allah, we'd like to give you the good news about patience of receiving whatever we face in our daily life for our nation, our ummah. The nation of Islam faces so much of hardships and problems, and in many areas of the Muslim countries, poverty and the problems of that the people usually face in their daily life. Subhanallah, remember that Allah has created us for the reason to worship Him, and that we will face in this world too much of trials and hardships. Those trials and hardships that our nation, Ummah, is facing is definitely a test from Allah. Allah said, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that we will test you with what is good and what is hard. As Allah said, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. That is a test. Everything that we face is a test. The blessing is a test, and the hardship is a test. The happiness is a test, and the trials and the sadness is a test. The health is a test, and the sickness is a test. So the time we are given is also a test. And there are eras that since Allah created us, and the Ummah of Islam after our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came as a final prophet, our Ummah is facing too many stages of strength and stages of weakness. There is stages of oppression and enmity against some Muslims in some areas. In some places, the Muslim community will face some foolish actions that are done against them, like some areas from the oppressed areas among the Muslim nations. We can say many of them, like what is happening in Myanmar for the Muslim people, what is happening for the Uyghur Muslims in Turkestan, East Turkestan, and in some other areas as well. So those ones who are oppressed in anywhere, whether it is a Muslim country or a non-Muslim country, it is a test from Allah to them. But the main part here is that, and the good thing is that, Allah wants us to change ourselves. Once we are good believers, good Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replace us with to be victorious and to be in a good shape. In many stages, the Muslim Ummah were very successful and very strong, and no one was able to defeat the Muslim people because of the strength of their faith. The Iman was so high, the level of Iman was so high. And Allah has addressed us, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah does not change people until they change themselves from within themselves first. So if we change ourselves and we become much better believers, it doesn't make sense for someone who doesn't pray in the masjid at all, or sometimes they don't even fast during the months of Ramadan, and then he look at the Muslim Ummah and say, look at the Muslim Ummah, they are actually in a very weak position. Why Allah is not giving us victory? So those such people, we tell them, did you do your responsibility first before you say what you have said? So if I want Allah to give us success to our nation and our Ummah, we need all of us to change. We need to be better believers. We need to increase of the righteous deeds, so that we need to avoid the wrong things that we are not supposed to do. We need to obey Allah and His Messenger so that we will deserve Allah's victory and Allah's rahmah. Brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jal said, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ ولا يمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم ولا يبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا. Allah Azza wa Jal has promised the righteous believers. I want you to remember righteous believers. So when we reach to the righteousness and to believe in Allah really, truly, and to have the sincerity, and also to practice righteous deeds, then Allah will give us the ability to be able to take care of our affairs and to face whatever we are facing, and to defeat the enemies that are actually targeting the Muslim people anywhere in the world. So if we did that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us, will empower us, will enable us to face what we are facing. The oppressors are exist always, and that is part of our life. Allah Azza wa Jal will give victory to those who are oppressed against those tyrants or those oppressors when the people come back to Allah and seek His help and His support. When the people realize that there is Ilah that they should fear, that they should obey, there is a messenger that they should obey His teachings and His commands, when that happens, Allah will give them the ability, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the good thing is that there is a time will come, the oppressed ones will win, and the oppressor ones will lose. So the good thing also that the people who faced whatever they faced from these trials or punishments or the torture that they may face in some different parts of the world, the good thing is that that will increase their rank in Jannah bi'Iznillah, because they were tested. They were taken into any sort of torture or jail or so on and so forth in different parts. So when these people are actually doing their homework as a believers, as people who live in this world, Allah Azza wa Jal will give us the support and the power and will replace us with better and better situations, inshaAllah ta'ala. That is what Allah said. But the conditions to believe in Him Azza wa Jal, to have sincerity, to pray and ask Him. We need to always repeatedly say our dua and our prayers and put our heads down and cry to Him Azza wa Jal. We need to increase our righteous deeds. It doesn't make sense that we raise our hands and ask Allah while we are away from Him, we are not obeying Him, we are not obeying His Prophet, or we are not even doing our obligations as believers. So we need to do that first, and then Allah Azza wa Jal will give us what we wish and what we hope for. What Allah will do for us if we do these things, if we believe in Him and do righteous deeds, Allah will give us the ability to control, to defeat our enemies, especially the enemies of ourselves. And also Allah will change the fear into security and comfort. Allah will change the situations. Our ummah, my dear brothers and sisters, will pass through the many stages, and the stages of weakness do not stay too long. Allah replaces, things happen, and Allah Azza wa Jal, from time to time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing the ummah in general. So for Muslims who are facing any trouble or any discomfort, they will, bi'iznillahi ta'ala, will recover when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow and permit them to recover, if they right away started to change themselves and worship Allah in such way that will make them victorious bi'iznillahi ta'ala. So my dear brothers and sisters, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Do not be sad, do not have fear, as Allah Azza wa Jalla is testing you, and you will be the one on the top bi'iznillahi ta'ala again and again. Do you think that we are actually sent in this life just for fun, to enjoy, as Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ? Do you think that you are created just to enjoy and have fun, or we are created to be tested? We are definitely created to be tested. Allah said, Alif Lam Mim, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do the people think that they are actually will be just left out without being tested and being in trials? And Allah has given us so many examples in the Holy Quran like Musa and Pharaoh, like the stories with the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people of Ad, the people of Thamud, the people of Madian, and so on and so forth. So many examples in the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jal subhanahu wa ta'ala is definitely testing us, and in the end, al-aqibatu lil-muttaqeen. The good news is al-aqibatu lil-muttaqeen, the end and the victory and the success will be on the side of the righteous believers. So may Allah make us among the righteous believers so that we will deserve to get the victory of Allah and the help of Allah, and to be with the nation when it is very, very in a good position, and with the people who have the success and the happiness. May Allah grant all of us the happiness of this dunya and the happiness of akhirah, to be with our beloved and Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in akhirah, in al-firdaus. Jazakum Allahu khair. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.